Welcome, viewers, ladies and gentlemen. We are still on to another interesting episode on this channel, on this program. This is the Daily Positive Living Principle program. I'm still your regular anchor, Dr. Daniel Otto. And I can tell you, as you keep on listening to this program, you cannot remain the same. In each episode, you have relevant information to move you to another level. And you know that information is power. Information terminates ignorance. The antidote for ignorance is information. Information transforms into knowledge, and knowledge transforms into wisdom. By the time you apply knowledge, you become wise. So knowledge is the acquisition of information, and wisdom is the application of knowledge. And so we are here to supply you relevant information. You are where you are because you lack information. So in this episode, on this episode today, we are taking another interesting topic on the thinking process. And this one is titled The Relevance of Our Thoughts. That is what we'll be discussing in this episode. Why are we always talking about the thinking pattern, the thought process? What is the relevance? And I can tell you, we cannot overemphasize the importance, the relevance, the significance, the implication, the cruciality and the criticality of our thinking pattern. And so we want to consider the relevance of our thoughts. Why are we talking about our thoughts? What is the implication of our thoughts? Brothers and sisters, everything in life that you need is attracted to you based on the nature of your thought. And so these things are very, very, very important. So the way you are is determined by the way you think. Evidence, researchers have shown, scientific research has documented by evidence that when you have a negative thought, there are things that are secreted, there are hormones that are secreted, stress hormones are secreted, which we call the cortisol, that affects you to have a negative feeling. And when you have a positive, enthusiastic, optimistic, momentous thought, it leads to the production of endorphins. There are hormones called endorphins, and also a chemical substance from the brain, a neurotransmitter, the serotonins and the dopamines, which causes and makes you to feel good. These are evidences based on your thought. What are we saying? It means that when you have a negative thought, you will experience a negative manifestation, a negative feeling. No wonder some people commit suicide based on the level of their thought. So our feelings and the state of our heart and attitude are determined by thoughts. That is how relevant our thought is. And this is why we need to be actually very careful the way we think. A man called Dr. Joseph Edward Murphy is a surgeon. He said that thoughts rule the world. Ideas rule the world that you can see. So your environment, your financial environment and your situations are attracted to you based on your thoughts. And this is what we are talking about. These things are very, very, very key. Your environment is dependent on what you think habitually. You are a human magnet. He went on to say that you are a human magnet, and so you attract into your life what you think habitually. And this is very, very key. These are how relevant our thoughts are. So ideas rule this world. Without ideas, we are going nowhere. Ideas come from our thoughts. They are generated from our thoughts. A man called Napoleon Hill he said more mines, more gold are mined from the realm of the thoughts than are mined from the earth. What does that mean? Most of the innovations we are having today are generated from the thoughts. And that is why we feel that we in this section of the world, we need to begin to think more. In the Western world, people think more. But in this area of our life, the black continent, the African continent, we do less of thinking. We do more of pursuing money. We do more of embezzling. Do more of going for physical things. While some others are based on bringing innovations. How do you think we have all the innovations we have today? They are generated from the realm of the thoughts. What about the Wright brothers, the aeroplanes that we have? These are generated from people that were thinking. They didn't leave their world the way they met it. They added something to it based on the level of their thought. What of the electricity we are enjoying now? They are constructed by people. When I talk of the cars we are riding, if not, we wouldn't have been able to move from one place to another, to cross over from Africa to United States to UK and be traveling all in one day. It wouldn't have been possible. But realms of thought have made it so. No wonder Napoleon Hill said, more gold are mined from the realms of thought than from the earth itself. This is what we are talking about. The most crucial and important thing in his life is the quality of your thought. That quality is very, very important. So thoughts it becomes an attractant. Anything you think about gets drawn to you. Because what does not cross your mind does not cross your life. The moment you begin to think of it, oh my God, it begins to draw near close to you. So we build our future by the quality of our thoughts. The whole universe is being constructed when God sat down and began to think. So for man to move forward in the realm of innovation, of new things that will happen, you must engage the level of thinking. So that is how relevance our thinking is. Thought is another name for faith. What is faith? What must have happened? Faith is something that is destined to happen. And so when you begin to think, you don't need any external forces. These things will come to pass because the way you think habitually, your habitual way of thinking, gives you what you want. You manifest what you think about. Sometimes a man may miss a bus and fail to travel. At that same point, you might just be there and you meet your life partner. That is faith. Standing on that same platform, you now meet your life partner, but you miss the bus. That is faith. That is how thinking is. By the time you begin to focus your life on a good thinking process, that is how you will end. When you choose quality thought, quality things will also enter into your life. The greatest important thing to learn is to be able to discover that your dominant thoughts are anything that happens to you are in the direction of your dominant thought. And these things are very, very important. Men of old, including the wisest, the richest, and most of the richest man on earth, including King Solomon, they have also said that what you think in your heart, so you are. So what you are thinking in your heart will become public. And that is why he even put it in the book of Proverbs, as a man thinketh in his heart, so you see. A man called Ernest Holmes, in his book of Basic Ideas of Science, said, every thought must manifest according to its intensity. Every of your thoughts must manifest according to the intensity of your thought, which is very, very important. The slightest thought of intelligence is sets in motion or provokes the power, the law of attraction. What are we saying? Every thought you develop becomes an attractant. It attracts the thing that you think towards yourself. And these are the things we are talking about. You are what you think. What you think about will just manifest at a matter of time. So we need to begin to focus our attention, focus our energy on the thinking process. If we must move forward this year, we need to move forward. A man named James Allen, he's a popular poet and a philosopher. And as he was writing a poem on As a Man Thinketh, he said, as you think, you travel. As you love, you attract. And so you will be tomorrow where your thoughts are. And these are the things we are talking about. You cannot escape the results of your thoughts. These are very, very important. You will always gravitate towards your thinking pattern. And this is very, very key. So, ladies and gentlemen, when we are talking about thought, is the realm that we need to enter into. If we must move our country, if we must move our level, if we move our life, move our family from one realm, we need to engage our thinking process. We need to come to a level where we begin to generate new thoughts, new ideas. The reason why we call some people insane and mad people is because they have lost the relevance of their thoughts. They are behaving the way they are because of the realm of the thoughts. People become carnal, people become spiritual because of the level of their thoughts. And I'm telling you, we need to change the level. Some people, by the time you start interacting with them based on the level of your thought, you will now begin to manifest that way. Talk of the many sins where people are committing today is based on the level of your thoughts. There is no sin that a man commits without thinking about it. People even go to kill because of our thinking pattern. That is how relevant it is. Today we cannot close our eyes in our rooms and leave our doors open. Security issues, challenges, and all that is everywhere. Why? These are generated from the realms of thought. At this time, people have even shared their conscience up to the point that some people can kill hundreds and nothing happens. Gone are the days when somebody dies and everybody will be crying. Now you see hundreds of people dying in one day, in some minutes, and it's caused by the level of our thought. And people feel that they are like chickens. Today, in so many parts of our country, Africa, Nigeria, so many people are dying because of the negative thoughts that we have. And these are things that we need to change. The level of corruption, the level of negative practice, the level of impunity, all are generated by the level of our thoughts. If we must change our environment, if we must change the way things are happening so that we can live in harmony, we need to do it from the level of our thought. And that is why the relevance is very, very important. This is very, very key. If we want to begin to generate innovations from Africa, manufacture new things, we need to settle down on our thought process so that we can begin to move from this level to another level. Therefore, what are we trying to say? We must begin to discipline our life. We need to begin to discipline our life based on our thought. So we must have to begin to set in motion strategies, because if you don't have strategy, you will end up in tragedy. And the thought pattern, the thinking process is a major strategy for us to move to another level. And these are very, very key issues that we are talking about. So we move in the realm of our thought. We expand in the realm of our thought. So my advice is that we need to begin to think outside the box. We need to begin to change the pattern of our thinking. You cannot continue to do the same thing over and over and experience or expect a new outcome. There must be a creative thinking different from what we have been doing before. These are very, very key. If we must change things, then the way, with the time that we are portioned for our thinking should change, if things need to be done differently. And that is why we are on this channel. And I'm telling you, as you begin to follow these processes, because thoughts are very, very important, as you begin to focus on your thinking process, your thought pattern, this time, I'm telling you, you'll be expecting a new outcome. Let me give you a story briefly as one of the people that think out of the box, because your thinking can save you, can bring you safety. You might be in a dangerous environment, dangerous position. Your thinking can lift you out of affliction, out of calamity, out of catastrophe and cataclysm. What are we talking about? Thinking is a major way to go. A man, a carpenter, was traveling one day after he has finished with his workshop in the night, and as he was coming home, putting a nice coffin, very beautiful coffin, an expensive coffin, in his car. When he was coming on the road in the midnight, his car broke down along a major bridge, and it became an issue. That night there was nobody he could call. There was no time he would get to even call a mechanic. So things became hard. He began to think, what was he going to do? Leaving the expensive coffin in the car was going to be a problem. The car could no longer move, so he was confused. He cannot sleep in the car there. So what did he do? He said, instead of leaving this coffin inside this car, inside this vehicle, let me move this coffin on my head, because his house was not too far from the area. So he decided to move this coffin and put this coffin on his head and began to go home. And at that midnight in our environment here, you can imagine, when you are faced with this, when you meet with a security man, you will hear another story. So before you know it, before you say Jack, as he was carrying this expensive coffin on his head, he met with a group of policemen, and they told this man, say, hey, where are you going? Say, hold it there. He knew that something was going to happen. If you meet those kind of security men, policemen at that point in time, something needs to happen. You must cough out some tangible elements of money, kudi, ego, from your pocket. When he knew that, he began to think out of the box. What am I going to do? Because your thinking pattern can save you out of a dilemma, or a dynamic situation, a situation of death, a situation of chaos. He began to think. When they asked him, what are you doing there? Look at what the man did. He began to misbehave as if he was insane. He began to misbehave as if he was a madman, and began to tell them. He began to miss his steps, and now told them, you know, I am coming. He told the policeman, where they buried me, I don't like it. That is why I am relocating to another session. When the policeman heard this, all of them, they took 440 and began to run. They cleared out of the way, and the man told them, God, punish all of them. That was how the way cleared for them. I'm telling you, you will meet obstacles in everything that you do, because every new level, there is a new devil. For you to move to another level, every new level, there is a new obstacle. There is a new opposition that is coming. So to get out of that opposition, you must engage in thinking out of the box. Now, it is not hard work, it is smart work. The way you think is very, very important. If you must move forward, change your environment, change your status, and move to the next realm, is the thinking that we are. And I enjoy you to begin to think, to begin to hook on to this program, the Daily Positive Living Principle Program. Because as you keep on listening on this program, I'm telling you, your life cannot remain the same again. You must engage in your thinking process this year, and your life will not remain the same again. I still remain your regular anchor, Dr. Daniel Otto, on the Daily Positive Living Principle Program. And I tell you, keep on listening. Stay tuned for the next episode, and the Lord God will bless you, and you'll move to another level. See you on top as you keep on thinking and knowing the relevance of thoughts. God bless you. I don't hit this one.
I said 3 minutes.
Eh?
Well, you don't see my hand.
Okay, it's still about 3 minutes.
No, just leave it. It's 20.
Eh?
20. So other promo will enter.